And because of this monster, Jamie won't have her mom and dad at her dance recitals. My brother won't be able to walk down the aisle at a wedding day.
The man who kidnapped Jamie Kloss and killed her parents will spend the rest of his life behind bars.
And a Wisconsin National Guard veteran is being laid to rest. How those close to him are honoring his memory.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
And thanks for joining us. We start tonight with your Alert Day forecast.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is tracking showers and thunderstorms that could turn severe.
Yes, the severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center has us under a slight risk of severe thunderstorms for tonight, but we're starting to see some thunderstorm development to our south and west in eastern Iowa, right around Cedar, or just south of Iowa City. Starting to see those showers develop, some lightning flashes there. You can see the rapid movement toward the northeast, so as they continue to develop, they'll be heading towards southern Wisconsin. Storm Prediction Center is actually watching our area for the potential for a possible severe thunderstorm or tornado watch over the next hour or so. And the reason why is after morning showers and thunderstorms have moved through, notice how southern Wisconsin is cleared out from the early morning cloud cover. That's allowing temperatures to jump up. In fact, right now, temperatures are as warm as 78 degrees in Boscobel, 76 in Prairie du Chien, whereas to the east, where the cloud cover is still going, temperatures are only in the 50s near Lake Michigan. By tomorrow morning, we'll see shower and thunderstorm chances gradually come to an end as temperatures drop into the lower 60s. Tomorrow will be dry for much of the day. We might see a thunderstorm late in the afternoon with a possibility for a strong to severe thunderstorm if that happens, with a high temperature of 80. But I'll take a look at an alert day forecast that includes the potential for severe weather and heavy rain tonight and also on Memorial Day.
The man responsible for kidnapping Jamie Kloss and killing her parents last October learns his fate in a Barron County courtroom.
Jacob Patterson will never be a free man again. Danica Lewis joins us now with more details on today's sentencing. Danica?
Eric and Charlotte, that is exactly what Jamie's family members asked for during their testimony today, that this man right here never be allowed into society again. Barron County Judge James Babler went as far as to describe Patterson as the embodiment of evil. He then sentenced Patterson to 2 life sentences with no chance for parole for the homicides of James and Denise Kloss last October. He'll also serve another 40 years for kidnapping Jamie for nearly 3 months. You might remember she escaped from the Douglas County cabin where she was being held captive in January. Jamie was not in court today, but her attorney read a statement on her behalf.
He stole my parents from me. He stole almost everything I loved from me. For 88 days, he tried to steal me, and he didn't care who he hurt or who he killed to do that. He should stay locked up forever.
The Barron County DA said in court that Patterson would never stop trying to find and possibly kill Jamie if he ever got out of prison, but he will not. As for Patterson, he did make a brief emotional statement of apology. His attorney added his client pleaded guilty to spare the community of a long, painful trial and to allow the Kloss family a chance to heal. Based on the testimony today, that is still an ongoing process.
Danica, thank you. A Richland County woman will spend the next 15 years in prison and 10 years on extended supervision for making arrangements for her boyfriend to sexually assault a 12-year-old. A criminal complaint says Annette Winger lied to the girl's caregiver so she could take the girl to her house. That's where the girl was forced to perform sexual acts on 47-year-old John Elder. Elder was sentenced to 25 years in prison and 15 years extended supervision. A 22-year-old man accused of inhaling chemical vapors before crashing into a group of Girl Scouts has pleaded not guilty to vehicular homicide charges. Prosecutors say Colton True was high on fumes when he crashed into the Girl Scout group cleaning up trash along the highway in Chippewa County in November. 3 girls and 1 mother were killed. True's attorney argued there was no evidence he was high, citing a blood test that found no chemicals. Prosecutors countered that True left the scene, so a blood draw wasn't taken until that evening.
A Wisconsin Air National Guard sergeant who raised concerns about sexual assault within his unit claims Guard officials are trying to force him out. Master Sergeant Jay Ellis sent U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin a letter in November about the assaults, sparking 2 federal investigations. Ellis filed a complaint on Monday alleging Guard officials have transferred him out of his unit and started researching his medical history. He believes they want to force a medical discharge that will cost him retirement benefits. The city of Lodi is looking for new recruits after losing half of its police force. Lieutenant Wayne Smith from the Columbia County Sheriff's Office is now the acting police chief. The Lodi Police Department went from 6 full-time officers to 3 within just a matter of a few weeks, including the force's 2 supervisors. Smith says he's not aware of why all of those officers left, calling it an unfortunate coincidence, but he wants to assure the community that he will keep the department running at peak efficiency.
Lodi's been through a lot. They just had the floods. Now they've had this with the police department, and it's a good community, it's a strong community, and people should feel comfortable and safe here.
Smith says he is still performing his duties for the sheriff's office as well. His contract is signed through December in Lodi, but he'll likely be there until a new chief is hired and trained.
A Rock County family is putting out a call for help after a family memento was stolen from their car. Rock County reporter Adam Duxter joins us from our bureau at the Janesville Gazette with why this is part of a larger trend.
Well, Charlotte, we first told you about a string of vehicle break-ins on the city of Beloit's west side in the beginning of April. And since then, police say it's continuing to happen. In fact, police just this past week releasing video from surveillance cameras from 2 separate homes showing thieves going through unlocked cars. A family I talked to today say they recently had a family heirloom taken from their car after it was broken into just this past week.
Shocked that someone broke into my car, and I was kind of sad because at the time, we didn't think nothing was stolen, so I thought it was just a kid just like looking for money or looking for change, and I'm like, okay, nothing is gone, it's fine. But then when I found out my money was gone, or the dollar bill was gone, that really, really made me sad.
Now, that dollar bill Stephanie Sturtz was referring to there was a gift from her late daughter to her her late father to her 2-year-old daughter, Caroline. On the dollar bill, it said, "Happy first birthday, Caroline, love Papa," and it was written in red marker, and it was in the inside of a plush piggy bank that was in the car's back seat. Now, today, Sturtz and her family are asking anyone if they've seen this dollar bill, and they're trying to get it back. We'll hear more from her as well as from Beloit Police tonight at 10.
All right, Adam, thank you.
Right now, interstate construction is on hold. That's to help ease Memorial Day weekend traffic. This is a live look at the interstate at Racine Street near Janesville. The DOT is suspending road work today at noon. It won't start back up until Tuesday morning. All I-3990 interchange ramps are now open with one exception, northbound Highway 26 Milton Avenue ramp there in Janesville.
Tomorrow morning, Madison splash parks will open for the season. This year, they'll be open for extended hours from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. But you might have to dodge some rain or storms on Saturday and on Memorial Day. Beaches are also opening this weekend. B.B. Clark Beach on the Isthmus and Vilas Beach on Lake Wingra will both be staffed with lifeguards this weekend. Goodman Pool officially opens on Thursday, June 13th.
As we head into the Memorial Day weekend, a veteran who went above and beyond to serve his country is being honored. Wisconsin flags are at half-staff today for Major General Raymond Matera, who died earlier this year after a distinguished military career. Our Madeline O'Neill is back from services in his honor at Resurrection Catholic Cemetery with what impact he leaves behind. Maddie?
Charlotte and Eric, born in 1925, Major General Raymond Matera served as our state's adjutant general, overseeing federal and state missions of Wisconsin's Air and Army National Guards from 1979 to 1989. He's credited with building up the National Guard in Wisconsin, and before that, he served in the U.S. Marine Corps, Air Force, and Army. But his impact goes beyond his military career.
It's amazing what it can do, just knowing someone.
Major impact on all of us.
A major impact from a major general.
He was a great man, but he was a kind man.
Flags are flying in honor of Major General Raymond Matera, who spent plenty of time in the sky himself.
To look at the pictures in there and the flight suit and the smile on his face, you realize how much you really do miss him.
Matera was an aerial gunner in the Marines during World War II in the South Pacific, then a fighter pilot in Korea, before joining the Wisconsin Air National Guard and eventually serving as Wisconsin's adjutant general.
He meant so much to all of us. In fact, we probably all have to credit him for some part of our career. I know I certainly do.
Meet the 4 adjutant generals to follow Matera.
Probably the best lesson I had is to be humble. Be humble and be proud. And that's what General Matera always was, and he certainly instilled that, I think, in all of us.
They say Matera's lessons reach beyond his death.
Tremendous leader and mentor to all of us. So he's going to be missed dearly.
To those outside the military, too.
Ray was always one to help people. And
Joe Brame was Matera's neighbor.
you know, it rubs off. I do the same thing in the neighborhood now. Stuff he used to do makes a big difference in knowing somebody like him.
The Major General suggested Brame's son go to the Air Force Academy.
He went and he is now a lieutenant colonel.
As Matera receives military honors, you might say his last influence is over the clouds in the sky.
I know he's calling the rain off for this.
You can definitely say he's made an impression.
He was a patriot, he was a leader, he was a friend to each and every one of us.
The 115th Fighter Wing was scheduled to perform a military funeral flyover today in honor of Matera, but the threat of severe weather forced them to cancel. But the rain did hold off during the ceremony today.
Quite an accomplished career, and of course we remember all of those this weekend who died while serving our country as well.
Absolutely.
Maddie, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
A Madison teacher is inspiring young black girls to pursue their dreams.
How her Black Girl Magic Conference encourages them to celebrate who they are and what they look like when News 3 Now at 6 continues.
A Madison area teacher is aiming to teach as many black girls as possible that the color of their skin is something to be proud of.
Jamie Perez takes us to Madison College, where more than 400 black girls from Madison schools shared what they learned from one day of celebrating the color of their skin.
There are some things you just don't learn in school.
Beautifully and wonderfully made. Just celebrating our color.
To be yourself. And this.
You're capable of anything that you set your mind to.
Is meant to teach these girls.
I just want our girls to know that anything's possible.
That black excellence can be found right here in our community.
So last year we had about 80 students, 80 to 100 students, and so this year we're over 400.
Rosa Thompson started this. She calls it Black Girl Magic.
Magic of coding, the magic of hair, the magic of dreaming big, the magic of self-image.
To show black girls in the Madison School District.
If they can't see what they can be, they might not believe what they can be.
That they have magic to share with the world.
So that's just really nice to see, just the joy that they have.
All about creativity.
Whether that's through learning by example.
I want to go to college so I can be a doctor.
Or seeing it to believe it.
We're really doing this.
The main point.
Be yourself and and not let anybody ruin your life. We need to celebrate who we truly are.
In Madison,
They love it.
Jamie Perez,
Just be you.
News 3 Now.
This trip was fun.
This was the second year the event happened. Rosa Thompson says she hopes it grows in the years to come.
It is day one of the world's largest Brat Fest.
And we'll share how those event planners are preparing for possible storms in the forecast tonight. Meteorologist Gary Canalti will share the details coming up. Eight middle school girls from Darlington are being recognized for their research on wind energy.
They competed in the Kid Wind Challenge, which looks to empower the next generation of the clean energy workforce. Two Darlington teams, the Breezy Bees and Single Bladies, just placed 3rd and 5th at the national competition in Houston, Texas. They constructed their own wind turbine towers and blades and were judged on performance and energy output. Today, the girls got a big welcome home from their classmates, including a fire truck escort.
180,000 people are expected to attend the world's largest Brat Fest. It is day one of the 3-day festival at Alliant Energy Center. The current Brat sales tally, just checked before the show, about 50,000 have been sold according to their website. Organizers say they are prepared for rain tonight. If lightning strikes, they'll have to shut down the stages for about 20 minutes, but if it gets bad enough, they will have to cancel tonight's events. The good news, though, the weather should clear up for the most part tomorrow. Admission is free, and Brat sales raise money for local charities, as they have every year. I kind of wanted to pause there to let you do the part of what the weather will do tomorrow.
Yeah, I think much of the day tomorrow should be dry, and I think just about all the day Sunday should be. The problem would be tonight, and right now there's nothing imminent, so much of the evening should be dry before thunderstorms reach us, or unless we get some rapid development. We're already starting to see that take place. What's happened is skies have cleared out over southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois, and eastern Iowa after the morning showers and storms moved off to the east. Now look what's happening here. We're starting to see some thunderstorm development take place just to the south of Waterloo, Iowa. In fact, you can see lightning starting to show up here, an indication that the atmosphere is really starting to explode. So these thunderstorms are going to strengthen pretty rapidly. In fact, I was just looking at some of the information from the National Weather Service in Davenport. Wall cloud has been reported from that thunderstorm cell, so they're watching it very closely, probably producing at least some small hail as it heads toward Iowa City. But the whole general movement movement is toward the northeast, which will take these storms eventually into southwestern Wisconsin. There is a slight risk of severe thunderstorms from Madison and basically Portage southward through all of southern Wisconsin, with a marginal risk to the north. About a 5% chance, or a little bit greater, of a tornado within 25 miles of a point. So there is a little bit of a risk of a tornado there. There have been some tornadoes in central Illinois earlier today. About a 15% chance of high winds of 60 miles per hour or greater, and about the same probability of hail, an inch in diameter or greater. Now tomorrow, the severe weather threat shifts a little farther to the south and west, but still a marginal risk exists over far southern Wisconsin ahead of a cold front. And then the other problem is going to be heavy rain. Over the last 5 days, generally about 1 to 2 inches of rain from Madison southward, with some pockets of 2 to 4 inches of rain. Look at the computer model forecast. This is through Sunday morning, and you can see areas that get some of those heavier thunderstorms could be somewhere around an inch or more, but then more showers and storms from Memorial Day into Tuesday and Wednesday could pile up another perhaps 1 to 3 inches of rain over southern Wisconsin. Already, flash flood watches have been issued for far southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois. This is for tonight into early tomorrow morning. We have an alert day in the forecast for tonight, also for Monday, Memorial Day, both for the potential for heavy rain along with hail, high winds, or perhaps even an isolated tornado in the strongest storms. Live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville, starting to see some cloud development to the south and west. WISC Skycam showing a little more sunshine out to the west of town, and the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison, a pretty sight with the boats on the southern end of Lake Mendota. The Almanac for today shows a high temperature of 71, the low temperature 52, but right now we're near that high. In fact, we're at that high temperature for the day of 71. Winds are out of the south at 13 miles per hour. Dew point temperature up another tick to 62 degrees. The air is becoming increasingly humid. So our forecast for tonight calls for that flash flood watch for Dane County and areas to the south until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Showers, thunderstorms developing. A few could be severe this evening. Low temperature at 62. Tomorrow, a slight chance for a storm early in the morning and late in the afternoon. In between, more sunshine. It'll be warm and humid. High temperature around 80. On future track, you can see the one round of storms coming through tonight. A break during the day tomorrow. It's sunshine. Temperatures up around 80. Some thunderstorms tomorrow night. And then Sunday we clear out with temperatures in the mid-70s. Rainfall amounts where it does occur. Some heavier thunderstorms, over an inch of rain. Some areas may pick up very little rain if you get caught in between storms. The 7 to 10 day forecast on the alert day on Monday, Memorial Day, for severe weather, and then showers and storms Tuesday and Wednesday. A little cooler toward the end of next week.
One of the world's best soccer teams is in Madison for a friendly tonight. We'll catch up with Hertha Berlin in sports. Pretty simple for the Bucks. Win Game 6 tomorrow night at 7:30 in Toronto, or the season's over. Late in Game 5 last night in Milwaukee, there was some concern when Giannis Antetokounmpo twisted the ankle he's had trouble with before. But after the game, Giannis assured everyone that he's okay and he'll play tomorrow night. A bigger concern is the Bucks' defense that gave up 18 three-pointers and was torched for 35 points by Kawhi Leonard. The Bucks have lost 3 games in a row for the first time this season, but they say they're a very resilient team because they have to be.
If we don't have it now, our season's done. So we've been resilient all year, and we're going to rely on each other and lean on each other as we've done all year, and go out and compete as hard as we can.
The Brewers welcome Bryce Harper and the Philadelphia Phillies to Miller Park for the weekend. First pitch tonight is 7:10 in Milwaukee. Looked like the Cubs would get a win this afternoon in their game with Cincinnati at Wrigley Field. Up 5-4 in the 9th, but the Cubs bullpen imploded again. Steve Cishek gives up a 445-foot homer to Eugenio Suarez for a win that turns into a loss. Final score, Reds 6, Cubs 5. Brewers now a game and a half behind the Cubs in the Central Division. We saw this today. You know who that is? That's Randall Cobb. 8 years with the Packers, now he's with the Dallas Cowboys. Still wearing number 18, but it's going to take some time to get used to Randall Cobb in a Dallas Cowboys uniform. They're hoping the weather holds off tonight at Breese-Stevens Field. Forward Madison FC is hosting Hertha Berlin from the German Bundesliga in a friendly tonight at 7. Rain forced Hertha Berlin into the McLean Center for training this morning. They were pretty impressed with the facilities, and when you're at the McLean Center, you can't help but play a little American football. Guess they've seen some games on TV, huh? The Bundesliga is considered the second best league on earth behind the English Premier League, and their players have some crazy skills. They've enjoyed being in Madison. One of the team managers, Paul Coiter, says his wife sent him to one of the spots in town.
She told me to go into a pub called the Great Dane because she was serving behind the bar like 20 years ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So she's a bartender there?
Yeah, she was a bartender there, and apparently.
Hertha Berlin is a melting pot of players coming from the Netherlands, Switzerland, and of course Germany. Did you know our own Melissa Kim lived in Germany with her family when she was very young? So when a German soccer team is in town and Melissa has that connection, she couldn't help but sprechen de Deutsch.
Für Spaß, oder?
Ja, einfach so. Wir haben gesehen, dass die Playoff-Spiele, dass das nicht weit von hier ist und ein paar Tickets besorgt und sind ein paar Spieler rüber, haben das Spiel angeguckt.
Das ist für Spaß oder was wir dieses Spiel mean?
Also ich spiele ja gar nicht mit, ich bin verletzt. Aber ich denke mal, es wird eine schöne Erfahrung wieder zu sein, hier in Amerika zu spielen.
Boy, couldn't agree more.
Got all that.
Yeah.
Yep, got it all.
Impressive stuff.
There you go.
Watching those storms in Iowa, remember there were just a couple of showers before? Well, now all of a sudden we've got a tornado warning from that same storm. Tornado watch is being issued just to our south across northern Illinois and eastern Iowa, so we're going to keep an eye on that.
We'll break into programming if needed. See you at 10.